Yeah.
Yep. So it's completely dark in here.
Alright,
Whoever it is.
I'm seeing through my
That's-
servo skull.
That's only a problem for some.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Those of you who are already blind, this makes absolutely no difference.
And
Yeah, let's. I just take the Prescient scope off my sniper rifle. Let's say.
And
Well,
I'm
I see in
seeing,
the dark, so
yeah, I'm seeing through my servo skull, which has dark sight.
So there's kind of crates everywhere, and what looks like large machinery of, indiscriminate use. But quite large piles of dust and what must pass the spider webs on this world.
Mm-hmm. I guide him into some of the machines.
they
Ouch.
turn on.
Shit.
Rock
Yeah,
fall.
shit. Shit. Item.
Are they
finding-
open crates or closed crates?
Close.
Ooh, let's open some.
No, you won't have
Not
to see that.
again.
Okay, so inside is kind of
I think we could get a map of
pieces
the
of machinery.
Inside.
Sorry?
I think we could get some sort of map of the area inside.
well, I haven't got anything prepared, but
Okay.
Yes,
Fair enough.
it's very, very much off the
Record.
beaten path, as it were.
yeah.
I guess I can evaluate the stuff inside.
Yep.
See what's in there. Are we talking Xenotech? Or are we talking?
Yeah, definitely Xeno.
Sweet. Should I roll an architect thing too, or what?
Yeah, Architect probably better than Xeno.
I could do Archaeotech easily.
Well, I'm just asking do I do an inquiry roll or an architect roll?
Architect's probably better
Okay.
because
It is.
you've never seen anything like this.
All right. Architect's 53 with Esh, hovering on me. Give me a nice shoulder rub. Tell me I can do it.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. You do it, sport. You can do it.
Yeah, so it's 63.
Very nice.
Yay!
This is some sort of alien communication device, like similar to the Vox. Obviously mass-produced. Seems to work on a different wavelength than most of the Voxes, though. So
I think I could roll a little bit more to see if I could find anything else out about it.
Yep.
Alright, I got 60 to my Forbidden Lore Architect, so 70 total. With the hovering bastard.
Yep.
And I failed.
no, this is definitely some sort of weird Architect.
You
Yeah,
smash
well.
it on your head trying to get to work. You start screaming
Oh,
at it. You start screaming.
Yeah, sure, let's call it that. I just don't care. Obviously, it's something that I haven't seen before, and it's not patterned, so.
Yeah,
So
No wonder
the
they still work.
it's definitely not STC.
this is what this particular factory was producing, these comm devices.
Yep.
I say we load up on them and
Devices.
decide what
Yeah,
we
they
do
could
with
be
them
useful.
later.
Well, we can attach them to our soldiers, see if they work.
Yeah.
Well, we could see if they work, then attach them to our soldiers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
wait.
voting for yeah, let's do it that
We
way
can
first.
teleport someone down to the planet with one, or we keep one on the ship and we just test its range.
That might help.
That's another idea.
But for now, I think the primary objective is to get as many of crates of these things out. And
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. We can
Yeah.
beam down some people or send them down on another shuttle.
Yeah, the shuttles all can deal with that. Yeah, you can
Yep.
load up several of these crates. You can probably clear the warehouse out with your cargo space.
we'll need to mark Cerator Prime as a place to visit again some other time.
Yeah, they
So
think there's
there's
quite a
nothing-
lot more you could find if you're willing to spend a lot of time.
Let's
Yeah.
say that right now this is just a confirmation of Cerator Prime's value to us, since the Abacus was our primary objective. But now we
Yeah.
know that Cerator Prime is something that we definitely want to come back to.
Yeah.
Cerator
Do you think they'd
Prime,
have weapons
EB
here?
booty.
Not in this factory, but if this is definitely military equipment.
Mm.
So there's nothing to say you can't find something good in another factory.
It would take time to
Yes.
check the whole planet. So
Yeah, it's a large planet. There's quite a few cities.
I mean, we've
Look at
already
Austin.
burned out a year on this trip.
Yeah, no kidding. That Ausfix that I did,
Hey.
could I have Could I have actually seen anything about the factories?
You could locate them all. I think well, not all, but yeah, you've got a good idea where the massive ones are, the big factory complexes.
Okay.
So
So we could.
If it's
Probably.
military stuff, we should also do deep scanning if we can even do that. See if there's anything hidden or underground.
Yeah.
That's true. Bunkers and the like.
yep.
But that's all stuff we can make notes of in the future to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You've got no idea what this. You find a few pictures of what the Sanatorians look like. They're kind of spindly looking creatures that don't look like they survive much in a fight. So probably good for the universe. They're no longer around.
Yeah.
Well, of course it is. They were filthy Xenos.
Yeah, the Xenos. It's fine.
Now they're an opportunity for our profit, so I think everyone wins.
Yep.
Well, they didn't, but
That doesn't matter.
Everyone important wins.
yeah, not like
Yeah.
us law-abiding citizens of the Imperium care what happened to a terrible race of Xenos. Now do we? Of course, accepting the fact that
Definitely
they're
not.
worth money for it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You only care as far as it gives you money.
Yeah.
And life.
Yep.
So we've basically scored a few good crates of these comm devices.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd say they seem to work on a different frequency for the Voxes, so that can make them useful because it's just a way that wouldn't be just scanned normally. So you think there'd be a market for these things?
Fine.
All right.
Certainly keep
Since they
couple
walk-
for ourselves.
Question: since they work differently from the Voxes, does that mean that the Voxes can't pick them up?
No, you can't. You'd have to be looking specifically for the same frequency pattern or whatever.
Oh,
The way they
very nice.
communicate is
Very
completely different to the way a Vox communicates. So, you'd
But
have
we're
to you'd have to be looking for them.
Yeah.
So they'd be very good for covert communications.
Mhm.
Very
We'll definitely be
nice.
keeping one of these crates for ourselves, but
I'd say keep at least
Yep.
5. How many are in
Yeah.
a crate?
Crate probably carries about 20, 30 of them.
So really, we should all have our own crate.
Yeah.
What we should be saying is we should be both all leaving with our own crate.
I think a couple crates for us would be fine.
yeah, and then we'll for now we'll hold on to all of it. For now, let's not worry too much about what we do with them in
Yeah.
terms of the excess. But we definitely are going to be keeping some of these for ourselves. Excellent, gentlemen. This was a very profitable planet-side trip.
All right.
As you step outside,
this time
you're
I
eaten
did-
by a Gru.
And this time I didn't
Wait,
blow
wait,
up the
what?
Auspex.
Wait, Gray just said what?
As you step
Yeah,
outside,
what?
you're all eaten by a Gru.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
oh, right. We didn't have any light.
No,
Lord.
no.
This is what happens when you're all happy about seeing in the dark and not having lights and bumping me into stuff.
Hey, I only rib you because I like doing it.
Yeah.
Your reactions are so funny.
Right. So, anything else you want to do here, or are you going to continue with your hunt for the Void Abacus?
do we want to try one more factory?
I'd
say yeah,
say
actually.
I'm actually going to vote no. I'm actually going to say let's get the Void Abacus and worry about
Yeah.
Cerator. Let's come back to Cerator prepared for Cerator. Let's say
Yeah, because we've got a lot of cargo space that's been already taken up. Captain.
hey, and more will be taken up by future supplies. Hey, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
recap doesn't take that much of space.
You
no?
don't have a main cargo hold, so you are going to be quite limited on what you can actually transport.
I thought you said we came with a cargo hold. We just didn't have extended.
You've got a cargo hold, but you haven't got the big one that they talk about that you can get in the rule book. So you've got cargo space, but you haven't got masses of cargo space.
So
Well,
we
looking
need
at this
to head
place,
back
we should
to-
upgrade.
Yeah, we need to head back sometime and get a.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
that's
really
all.
need. That's why I want to find a Forge World.
Yeah.
I was
Working
going to
with
say
you, yeah.
we could find the Void Advocates, go back to Footfall, gather an army of volunteers, come back, leave them here, and they can just come collect stuff for us. Then we can come back every now and again, just pick it
I-
up and sell it.
I have one problem with that, which is telling other people about Cerator Prime. I think
Yeah.
that for the longest possible time, we should try to keep it on the down low.
So
But
how are we
long-
going to make a profit out of it if we don't have anyone to come collect? We
For
can
now-
go back to Terra Nova and
Ooh,
collect some people from there.
Yeah.
That's very true.
that's
We
a little
could
bit
do
better.
that, and it would keep. It's going to take at least over 100 years or so. Of course, at the rate we warp travel, it probably won't take that long. But yeah, we could totally have people down there set it up and try to get things, make a kind of like civilization thing going on there. See if we can get some exclusive rights to the planet, if that's even possible.
So we'll have to be a little bit
Yes.
careful. We are talking. I would like to, however, highlight the fact that this is Xenotech.
Yes, this is be considered cold trade.
Yes, this is cold trade, so we have to be a little bit careful with. I mean, like we certainly couldn't get an official, right to this world just because it's Xenos. So
You could-
we
you could get
we
a-
are.
Yeah, you could set a colony up on the world as in you're reclaiming the world, but if you couldn't say we're reclaiming the world because we want to use all this fancy xenotech.
Could we
Yeah.
probably spread rumors around that some NIDs were spotted and were found?
We can
That's
actually say,
gonna call in at least the guard. If
wait.
we're
There's a
telling
very
you
easy
this
thing that we
is-
can say. Wait, change NIDS for orcs. Cerator
Yeah,
Prime
they're
is
right
within
next to
very close. Yeah, we are within very close jumping distance of Hundred Teeth. For all we know, this civilization was wiped out by the orcs, though we haven't seen any signs of that. I'm just saying it's conceivable, plausible. So we don't even have to that could be the
NIDS.
thing. Yeah, NIDS. We don't have to work the NIDS in. The orcs are a much more believable threat to this area.
Anyway, setting up a colony or anything like that, I think that would be a bit more of an endeavour. So
Yeah.
you would need
That's
a
a
bit of
big
planning there.
We'll definitely add it to the list. We found
Oh,
something
yeah.
really good, and we
That could be the next session.
Yeah, sure. Setting up a colony would actually be a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, because it would give you your own base.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
deep out.
I'll be right back. I have to answer the door.
okay.
But yeah, getting our own base would be nice.
We'll have to work. We'll definitely have to work on some of the logistics in between sessions for like how do we do this on the down low. Because we're gonna be, I will say this. Esh, kind of wanted the Omnissiah shield to stay on the good side of the Imperium and all that. But now that we've seen massive warehouses full of ridiculously profitable xenotech, well, that cold trade he's been hearing about looks mighty appealing.
I suppose we could continue to use people from Terra Nova. I mean, they don't have any contact with the Empire at this point. And
There's also
even
a
if we
couple
do.
of... Go ahead.
Oh, don't go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say there's also a couple feudal worlds around that we could get manpower from.
That's true. There's Terra Nova, there's Falcon's Fall Gamma, and Delorium within fairly close.
Yeah, and also Rakata,
Yeah.
which is right next to Pleasure World, I think.
Well, those ones
Red
are plus
is-
so- Red is
Frontier.
Okay.
Frontier World.
Ah, that's Frontier World, yeah. Hard to tell the difference. We really need to get that.
I can see that it's weird though. Zayeth is a hybrid Frontier World Death World, or
That's
Dead
a war
World?
world.
okay, huh? Yeah.
Two
never mind.
two conflicts, two different factions going on there. That makes sense.
Right. Okay. But again, we'll definitely have to work on the Cerator Prime project and making our way
That'll
to
be
the
a
cold
definite
trade.
project, though.
Yeah. I think we found our first
Because-
major long-termer.
Major endeavor.
Indeed.
Yep.
Exciting.
Shall we get
Sweet.
back to looking for the Void Dagger because they don't get lost all the time?
Yeah.
I treat the men
Love
that
that.
I treat the away team to some nice recap on the way back up. just to calm their nerves and like, all right, gentlemen, good job here. Here's a complimentary.
You're a goddamn
post-operation-
peddler.
You've
Handler.
bought it, you're going to use it.
Good quality, man. Good quality stuff.
So,
One thing, though, if we start setting up that Cerator Primus... This is Secondus, right?
Yeah.
What does
second-
Primus look like?
Primus is pretty much just a normal world. It's a barren world.
Just barren.
Yeah.
All right. Nothing worth anything there, just mining or whatever.
Yeah, you could probably mine it, but yeah.
Because if we set up this, and we could call ourselves call Esh the planetary governor of Cerator Secundus.
True, and it won't look weird that we're out here all the time.
Yep.
Well,
To be honest,
I
you
guess
just
we'll-
rename Secundus. I mean, Secundus is just it's the second planet in the system, so you can call it Prime.
That's
Yep.
true.
So
So,
we'll rename that Cerator Prime.
and Secundus be the mining world.
Yeah.
What I really want to do is get get it built up enough so that we can start getting some, what are they called, shipyards built up.
That might be a while though. We'll,
Yeah, that might be a
Be
while.
able to, yeah, that'll be a while, but if we do that, then we'll be able to have some in-system repairs and the like.
definitely.
Definitely. And being able to modify our ship would be nice.
We'll definitely have to find a place within the expanse where we can also do that.
Yeah. Because being able to take out a module and put in a new one would be very nice.
Yeah. But anyway, onto the Void Abacus, I think.
Yep.
Yep.
So that's going to be a short 2-day jump. Well, at the moment
Should
it's a
be.
short 2-day jump.
5 years
Should-
later.
Should be. Alright. So you got
Alright,
the hovering
here we
bastard
go.
as always.
So this is
Location
Astronomicon?
Astronomicon, which is an ordinary plus 10 awareness test.
Yep. Is that against navigation warp or against awareness?
That's awareness.
Oh, yep, 45 plus 10, and I'll take another plus 10 from foreshadowing. And then I'll
2.
roll the 2.
That's
Excellent.
awesome.
It's
the
right
first
Oh,
time.
goddamn
damn it. There.
That reduces it to a quarter. So it's half a day.
Yeah,
actually,
you're
no,
not
that's-
even.
Actually, no, I'm looking at the wrong point again. That's plus 40 to your charting the course roll, I think.
Damn.
Yep. That's going to get pretty easy, I think. I've got done it now. It's time for another 100.
68.
Yep, you've charted the course, so you get your plus 20 to your encounter the warp. So now it's the steering the vessel, which again is getting plus 40.
Alright, let's see. 28.
Right, that reduces you down to a quarter. So yeah, you're out for a quarter of a day, which in
Wow.
real terms is only 3 days of warp real time.
Wow, that was the fastest travel we've ever had.
Yeah.
Hiring you is the best idea ever.
Like, huh? Did we? Huh?
Went down already.
Yeah.
You haven't even.
We didn't even need to tap on the fish tank.
What? Okay, so
By the way, the mini castle is a nice touch, isn't it?
That was pretty quaint.
did you have one of those little treasure chests that open every so often and just kind of blows bubbles?
Oh yeah, you gotta have those.
Gray, how long have we spent in the warp by now?
What, this session or?
Total.
Yeah, like in real time. Total.
This session, 26 days.
Okay, but total. Like we've
total-
spent like 2 or 3 years by now.
1 second. Real time is 256 for 2 years. 2 years real time.
So basically, we're the infamous rogue traders that show up in random places every couple of years.
Yeah, but it's the expanse that happens.
Apparently,
that's the
finding the
fun of-
Astronomicon is generally really hard out here for some reason.
Not feeding the Emperor enough.
Nope.
Space is very big.
Yep.
Uh,
So yeah, it is pretty much 2 year real time years, but for you it's been about 60,
50
70,
days.
80, 90 days, so about 3 months.
Alright.
You're aging well.
Out of curiosity, does the game actually module the whole you may exit before you actually entered thing that sometimes people?
That's a GM
Yes, that
decision.
does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering if the rules actually. Cool.
Yep. If you roll extremely well, if you got a 0-1,
Right.
I'd probably
Yeah,
consider
there's
it.
something with it I'd have to read up and find
Yeah.
it. And then
If it- if it-
There's
GM
actually a couple of ways that you can do it with the that give like. There's one module that, or not a module, but a history or something like that, machine spirit quirk that actually increases or decreases the time that you spend in the warp.
Yep.
So we're at the S.
Yep. Which is a bit of open space on the edge of the accursed domain.
So I'll try to Auspex.
Right, are you going
Oh, it's-
active?
Huh?
going for
Should we active?
Again, take your time with this. We don't have to hurry for now. We're looking for something at a slow, steady pace.
So just leave it at a inactive regular Auspex. Just ping the world around us.
Yeah, as I'm saying, don't. We're not treating it as though we're like, we have to like the first time we scanned that asteroid belt around Solus and Carmine. That was pretty much yes, we have to scan it now. This is
Okay.
us going. Well, there's something out there, but
Let's
we
try to
don't
find
know
it.
Yeah.
So just make me a normal scrutiny test then.
Okay, scrutiny. That would be somebody else's.
I can't take it till next rank, so not me.
I have pretty good scrutiny. And I have yet to fail on it, so
Famous last
It's
words.
bound to happen now.
So 41 plus 10.
Yeah, you're kind of wandering around for a few days, not really finding anything.
Amazing.
Okay.
After a certain period of time passes, can we try again, or
Yep.
Does anyone have better than 41?
I have a 17 if I roll that.
I got a
Yeah.
20.
23 if I
23
roll
here.
it, because I
Um,
can't. Not till next
Is
rank.
this also using the ship's detection?
No, you can. I think you can only really use that when you're like actively scanning.
Okay. Let's try this one more time.
Yep,
55.
that'll be enough.
Alright.
Yeah, after about a week of like sailing around in space, just kind of getting lost, drinking lots of coffee.
Hey, it's how he's working the Auspex, man. You got to stay awake at the console somehow.
You
Yep.
you pretty much pick up the engines of another ship and a much larger vessel, well, metallic structure which you take to be a vessel. So there's two vessels, one of which has got no power but is obviously huge.
There's 2 vessels,
Two vessels.
and 1 is active.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Pull up the rules for silent running.
We're in, what kind of space are we in? This is,
Just pretty much
Nebula?
dead. Yeah, it's nebula. Edge of a nebula.
How large is large exactly?
You're probably looking something about 10 kilometers long.
Holy fuck.
Something that wouldn't be able to be built nowadays.
Yeah.
We should take it over.
Did we
That-
did we do well enough on the search? Like, is it Xenos or Imperial? Or
What,
I
the
think
big
that-
thing?
Is Imperial, but the small thing?
Okay.
Small thing you can't really tell from this distance.
I'm thinking orc.
Question
Maybe.
is, do we want to approach it with or without silent running? Because if we approach it with silent running, we might be sending a message when they do see us. If we approach
I'd
without
say
it, we send a
silent
different
running.
message. See, because I agree with you on one hand, but on the other hand, I'm really I don't know.
Well, we can
what
always,
is everyone-
if it goes to pot and they're friendlies, then we can always contact them and say, "Hi, sorry about the silent running. We weren't sure who you were, and we're right next to orcs."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because there's not many Imperial worlds listed around here.
yeah, yeah. Wait, let's see what's silent running. How do you do that?
That is a ordinary pilot plus spacecraft plus maneuverability test.
Could I
Okay.
aid the machine spirits for that one?
Yeah, let's see why not.
That
I'll
gives
bring the ship up.
That's a 32 plus 20. There was
before
one other
you
bonus,
roll-
wasn't there? Yeah, go ahead.
Before you roll, I'm gonna aid the machine spirits for a bonus to what would we get? Machine that would be maneuverability, right? Or yeah, maneuverability. Okay, that would be tech use plus the 10 for the MIU or whatever the hell it's called. Yeah, MIU. So that would be 70. Am I getting Ash's hover?
Well, he can only use it once per thing, so let's use it on the
Yeah.
actual piloting test.
Yeah, let's use it on
Yeah.
the actual piloting. So I'm gonna use my. So this will be against 70. Oh wait, no, this will also be getting plus because I'm speaking to the machine spirit, aren't I?
Mhm.
Yep.
So plus 20.
Yep.
All right. So
90.
let's see. I'm going. So 80. Okay. Did it freeze?
Maybe?
I haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
seeing you.
There we
There
go.
we
Oh, there we go.
Alright.
65. That's
1 degree of
Huh, nice.
success. So that's enough. You can move forward silently, get into some better range.
all right.
So, as you're getting closer,
Sorry about that.
I hope we're not running up against a Hulk.
no, as you get closer, your scans get a bit better. This, well, it is a Hulk, but it's not a space Hulk.
Okay, good.
The back, like, third of it, where the warp engines are, is pretty much gone. There seems to have been some sort of, don't make me lock the tokens.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I'm not.
Trying to make the screen bigger for me. That was one
Call
couple.
quality just went terribly to shit.
Did it?
Yeah.
Right, we back. Everyone back?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm back.
That's
Yep.
fine.
Yeah.
So I blocked the tokens. So the back third of the big ship is gone. It looks like there's some massive explosion that's gone on.
Was it? Does it look like weapon damage or
It
just
looks more like
screwed
internal.
up?
Internal explosion.
Internal?
By the looks of it.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
there's no damage front of that. So you assume it was, yeah. The warp
Somebody
engine
managed to
just
blow
seems
up their own warp engine.
Yep,
If it was, well, their engine at the very least.
yep.
Yeah.
And the other ship in front of it, which is giving me buggers to get to resize, looks like this. Those of you with Xenos, do you want to give me a roll?
Sure.
Holy shit, that looks weird.
Oh.
39.
It's the littlest Space Hulk.
You think you may have heard of these guys?
Yeah, no.
What was that?
They've been in Lord Xenos, I think, for Cole.
Oh, okay.
This seems to be a load of smaller Imperial ships chained together, like with welded passageways, kind of linked in. Some of them seem to be powerless, some of them have a bit of power. Only the main front thing seems to actually be fully powered. That second one looks to be an Orc ship. But you've kind of trust has come across like tales of alien race like this. They call themselves the Strixis. They're pretty much traders by reputation.
Those guys, aren't they?
They're pretty ruthless traders, if I recall.
Oh yeah,
Very ruthless.
yeah, extremely ruthless, like the Ferengi on crack.
Without
Are they-
without the baby eating.
Well, you don't know. They don't see. They're quite heavy slavers as well. quite a lot of their crew isn't actually Strixis. It's made up of other races they've captured and forced to work for them. And they seem to be involved in some sort of salvage operation on the ship.